this third time it's come up with welcome to chat, remember to guard your privacy, and through our community guidelines with comments. So now I think everything's okay. I knew I was right about the first two. I don't know what happened there. But thank you for joining, guys. I'm going to say kind of periodically throughout the live. My name is Kira. I do beauty videos. I do makeup and skincare. Also do some mental health as well. And then I do some kind of smoothie videos if you look at my playlist. Most recent one today is I combined two eyeshadows in my longer form content video. Today, this is my third time going live only because something was happening where people couldn't comment. I can see now that it's saying welcome to live chat. Okay, so what I'll do is periodically through the video, because where my TikTok light is, it kind of does, it covers where people are in terms of who I can see online. So let's go ahead. Today, the whole point of the live is the Neutrals palette from Revolution. It's their Pro Passions palette. But also I always say going on to my lives is that I do want to kind of interact with you guys. It's more of a kind of chatty kind of way to talk to people, particularly your subscribers. This was requested since February, so I had the channel quite a while, and the lives were actually requested by Emma since February, and I think it's a really good idea. I've met a lot of people so far, and I only myself started to look at lives maybe January time, and I've had my channel for quite a while. So we're going to start this. Okay, we're going to start again. I have so far popped on some skincare. So I've popped on the vitamin C detox skincare boosting serum, and then I've popped on the L'Oreal Revitalift, and it's their hyaluronic acid replumping serum. I'll just mention SPF. It is 8 o'clock in the evening UK time, which means I wouldn't put on an SPF cream. We are kind of going in with the NYX glaze today. Mine is in vanilla bean butter. It's the buttermelt glaze. And mine has, well, all of them have an SPF of 30. Okay, so let's get into some things, guys. I will, if anyone comments, obviously, because I can't see who's on, I will obviously respond back, because the last time we did have quite nice conversations, and I do like kind of doing the makeup, but I also like chatting with you guys, and that's kind of my kind of biggest kind of enjoyment out of this, is chatting with you guys. If you don't know who I am and this is your first time looking, if you're on replay, my name is Kira. I've been on YouTube for quite a while now. I used to be in childcare and special needs, and I've moved into support work. But you'll see throughout my channel, I've always even qualified at one point in makeup artistry. So it's something I've always been interested in. So I kind of like to try things on my longer form content, and then I like to go live and kind of chat with you guys. So this is always planned. So if you're wondering, okay, this is the first time I'm seeing you, how do I know when you go live? Always check the post section, and I always let people know, okay, tomorrow or today, you know. So basically it's usually Mondays, Wednesdays, and Sundays is live, and the rest are longer form content, which I'll never neglect. I'll always do my longer form content because that's kind of where I began. So this is the Inkey List Caffeine Eye Cream, and I just popped that underneath. Caffeine for under your eyes is amazing. I always say, guys, starting with a base before the foundation and primer. Good skincare is basically the best way to start your kind of good base. I get a lot of questions. How do I really get a good base? Use your SPF, protect your skin, and then always use the right cleanser, moisturizer for your skin type, and, you know, plenty of water, things like that. And that is really a great place to start. So we are just going to use a little bit of that cream under the under corners of the eyes. Okay. And if you are able to comment, do. I am seeing that there is a live chat welcome here. I can't see how many people are on. Again, I just want to remind you guys in case you're wondering, because I've got my lights here and here, but the third light is actually above the phone, and it does kind of cover up, unfortunately, how many people are on. But do let me know when you're on, guys. I find some lives, there's people that I know that I follow are on, and then some lives it's just completely other people that I don't know come on, but that's always good because you get to meet new people. So I've been really gentle under the skin there, guys. I can't see, I'm trying to see who's on, but I can't, but that's fine. If this is kind of a time, whereas I am still using the algorithm, kind of getting to know it, I can always adjust the time after I look at YouTube and get to know the times and stuff, because they do give you feedback afterwards. So kind of a lot of the skincare is done now. I would say most of the skincare. What I'm going to do is just pop on the hydrating mist from Superdrug before we put on our primer, which is going to be the e.l.f. Putty Primer. And we are just going to, not too much, a little bit. And I'm just going to smooth that in slightly. I do have news, but it'll probably be towards the end, and I will do a longer form content on that. I'm just going to let that dry a little bit, and then we're going to go in with the e.l.f. Putty Primer. I'm doing really good with that at the minute. Really good, and it's really, I think when it all started and began with e.l.f. Putty Primer, like most products, it was very expensive. I think right now it's only about £6 on the e.l.f. website. So that's kind of started to dry in a bit. And if you're wondering what I used the Vitamin E Skincare by Superdrug Hydrating Mist, and I also spray my brushes with it as well. So this is what the e.l.f. Putty Primer looks like. We're just going to pop that around. I like this because it's, the heavier it is, I find that the longer it keeps on the foundation basically. So I'm just going to kind of use it as a moisturizer, pop it around. Super quiet live so far, but I guess this is just the way some weeks go. Sometimes Mondays it's so many people are on, and then others they're not. We're going to go with it. My lives on a Wednesday will be 2 o'clock, so during the day UK time. So I'm going to go with it, guys. But if this is the first time you're on, even if it's on replay, my name is Kira, and I will continue to say it maybe 2 or 3 times until the lives get a bit more well known. I'm a support worker in Oxford. I'm originally from Ireland, and I also in my free time like to do obviously my channel, which is makeup, but also recently been requested to do mental health, which I've been doing, and then I do smoothies and things like that as well now and then too. But you can take a look at the playlist yourself afterwards. So I'm actually going to go in with 2 concealers today, and if you're a longer kind of subscriber of mine, you'll know that I go in with the color corrector and then I go in with a concealer. So the color corrector I think has about 1 use left, so I will find that. If I've put it away, we're going to go straight in with this, but let me look. Okay. So basically I use the Eraser Multi-Use Concealer from Maybelline. It comes in green too. This is in peach, and I use this just to color correct certain areas. So if you can see, if I come close to the camera, I have slightly green undertones here. That's just, my eyes have always been that way. And then you can see here in this part of the T-zone, I get redness. So this is what I use to counteract that. And then I go in with the Hydration Concealer from e.l.f. That's what we're going to do. Super quiet so far, and it wasn't last Monday, but again, this is the algorithm showing up. So let's just twist that cap. What I'm trying to do right now is kind of shop my stash in terms of what I have. My last 2 videos on my longer form content were what I use. So if you're wondering what does she mean by shop my stash, basically I rotate the makeup I have, whether that's foundation, concealer, blush, everything you can think of, so that I'm using them all. So sometimes what happens is we get a foundation and we really like it. For example, I'm not using this today, but I recently got the Revolution Skin Silk. And what tends to happen is you stick to that foundation and then forget you have other ones. So I'm trying to just rotate, particularly things that go kind of bad quicker. So I think that if you want to know about foundations, the maximum they last is a year. Don't use them after that, guys. Things like eyeshadows, blushes, primers, if you use a very good spray, a hygiene spray, they last longer. But I would always say, if you've got a foundation, whether that's a serum foundation, anything really, the maximum time you can keep it is a year. So if you're somebody that collects foundations, it's always good to just rotate that. So that's just what I'm saying about that. So now what I'm going to do is use a sponge, and we're just going to pop on using and we're just going to place that around the skin. For an eye primer, if you're wondering what a really good eye primer is, that's not going to break the bank, I use Profusion. You can get it in skin tone, concealer tone, or you can get it in white. I'm going to be using white today. Again, if I haven't shown you, or if you're just coming into the live now, again, I can't see. This is what we're using, the Profusion's Passions palette, and have a look at that, guys. Gorgeous amount of glitters, but also an equal amount of mattes. So there we go. Again, I'm hoping that because that welcome to live chat has come on, that people can comment. But yes, not feeling great today. I've had I do suffer from migraines, and I have another illness that's more of a long-term illness that I've had, and that requires medications and things. So sometimes I can't take certain pain relief because of that. So today has been kind of a day where I had to kind of rest for a while. I think when I leave my support work job, that I'm not that I'm planning to, I will feel more comfortable kind of talking about the longer term illness. Um, and I'll tell you guys about that as well at some point. I do have news that I will pop on, I will talk about at the end of the video. And also I've had some messages to say, Kira, I can't catch up with your lives. Are you still doing longer form content? And that was quite the specific reason I did a very specific eyeshadow look today. But in that longer form content, I did say there is news as well. So what I'll do is after the live quickly, I'll just pop on a longer form of content in terms of what the news is. I really want to gain subscribers in the sense of not just having subscribers. What I want to do is have subscribers that have the same interests. Obviously, if somebody subscribes to a beauty channel or a game channel, they have that interest. But then the lives, you get to know them better. And I think a community, particularly how things are going these days, you might have your group of friends and you might, but actually online is what's most accessible to people. So trying to use that in a positive way. Okay, still can't see anything. But this is the best place for the lighting camera. Again, hoping that I also got feedback to say nobody's getting notifications. So you have to stay positive in these guys, with this guys, honestly, because in the first week I can't see your notifications. I'm trying to comment, bless them, they're trying to comment. And then something goes wrong in the actual live when I go live, where people can't comment. And obviously, because this is actually the best place for the like from TikTok, but obviously it doesn't cover the likes, but it does cover who's on. So yes, at least we've activated the live chat, so whoever comes in. So basically, guys, what we've done there is we've just used our concealer, we've used our kind of color corrector. I'm going to go in one more time with just the NYX SPF 30 Buttermelt Glaze because I feel like I've just got a little bit of redness. Now, if you're saying, why did you go in with your concealer and color corrector first? The thing is, guys, a lot of makeup artists do that to cover certain areas. You'll also hear a lot of makeup artists say, I never put foundation on first. And so it's basically your own, use it to your own, what works for you, basically. But I can still see this slight redness, things that I know this will cover. Mine is in Vanilla Bean Butter. They do only have 10 colors in this. The Revolution Skin Silk has 20 colors. So, I mean, it's up to you. I did mention today, if you need to get maybe 2 colors with it, which I guess kind of defeats the purpose. Say you're a different ethnicity and you're not quite that dark, but you're not quite that light. You can get products that actually lighten and darken foundation. So you can still get the one that best matches you, but then it will still kind of match your skin tone, so you haven't kind of wasted money or have to buy 2 or anything like that. Because I will say it's SPF 30. Always have your SPF underneath, but the actual soft skin tint does have an SPF of 30. So we're just going to pop that around, and then I'm going to use the brush. Okay. And I think then we'll just powder to set, and we'll go ahead with the bronzer and the blush. But so far, this is looking like it's not going to be super chatty. Okay, one of those weeks, I think, last week, and I think it's going to be one of those weeks this week, but we're still going to keep going with it. This is kind of, sometimes you can, this is the Real Techniques foundation brush. If you keep them really well, they last a long time. So I don't need to spray it in any way. All I'm going to do is kind of gently go around the face with that, and you can always tell if it's the same skin tone as your neck that you've really gotten the right shade. But again, Skin Silk Revolution, that's also a serum as well, which means it's got a huge amount of skincare in it. This is Luminous Serum Foundation. This has 20 shades, so you do have really good options with Revolution, who I think are coming out with amazing products at the minute. So, okay, I can't see how long I've been on either, but I'm guessing there's nobody on at the minute, which is really strange, but we'll keep going with it. I have this awful feeling I'm going to get a message from somebody, which I would don't. So if you can't show, don't be afraid to say, Kira, I saw it, but I can't, because it's all feedback for me, isn't it? So, you know, if you can't comment or you're not seeing something, do let me know, guys, because that is going to help me in terms of figuring out what's happening. But the good thing about this time I've gone on, which is the third time lucky, is it is saying welcome to live chat. So I do know at least you can comment, which is good. So we're going to set that now. I'm doing really well with the Rimmel Transparent 001. I'm refusing to get another one until I use this, and I'm doing quite well, guys. Now what I do is I spray this, and I won't do it now because I've done it about 20 minutes before the live. This is the antibacterial makeup spray. Safely eliminates bacteria from makeup. So I use it on all my powder things like eyeshadow, blush, bronzer, and it's from the Pro Hygiene collection. So you're only because I've mislaid the actually, guys, before any powder goes on, I've mislaid the top basically, so it always goes on the top of all my products so nothing gets onto it. But then every day before I use it, about 20 minutes before I use it, I will spray it hygienically, so it's hygienic. The one thing that I'm so glad I remembered to put on is the Makeup by Mario, and this is the Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. So we're going to do that now, and basically it's like a cream formula, and you pop it around. Now you can use it particularly in contour areas. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to pop around, and you'll see it just gives a little bit of a boost to the skin. I know it looks darker, but you will see when I buff this around with my foundation brush, guys, the difference it makes is amazing. So what we're going to do quickly is just use the same foundation brush, and you'll see what I mean. It just gives a little kind of life to the skin, if you know what I mean. So if you're saying what else can you do just to kind of make your skin a little bit better, water is really good for the skin. And it kind of, the detox in itself, it's a natural detox because it flushes everything out. So if you when I was younger, I really did suffer with acne, and any kind of medication never helped, and it's only really in the last 2 years that it has calmed down. But I do kind of feel, I do sympathize with people who do have acne, because it's not the nicest thing. It's not the nicest thing for confidence either. Wednesday's live, guys, is going to be 2 p.m. UK time. So that's always, and then Sundays is 12. So we'll go from there. Okay, so you can see it's just giving it a little bit of a glow. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go in with that setting. Now you're probably wondering, is that not going to kind of discolor or fade out everything you've done? This is transparent, so always go for transparent, because it's actually it is going to set the makeup, but it's not going to take away and make you look ghostly, take away all that makeup that you've kind of spent time doing. So we can still use the same brush, and we're going to go in with that Rimmel Transparent 001. And all I'm doing, if you notice, I'm not dragging it, I'm buffing it into the skin, guys. So if you can see, there's no difference there, but it looks a little bit more mattified. I'm trying to see, but I can't see if there's anyone on. Again, if there isn't anyone on, we might look at, if I get to 500 subscribers, I'm able to do polls, and that just means questionnaires. You guys can be more interactive and give your kind of, I'm putting posts up at the minute so that you can get notified I've put a post up, but actually a poll gives you more kind of control. So I can put what kind of eyeshadow look, I can give you 3 eyeshadow palettes to choose from. What would you like to see on the next live? Just things like that on longer form content, but I do need 500 subscribers for that. So hopefully that happens quite soon. Okay, so that's just all it's done. As you can see, it hasn't taken the color, but it has set everything. So that's what we wanted. And what I'm going to do now is show you another product that I've been using. I think this is going to be a quick live, unfortunately, guys, but that's how it goes. Okay, so I'm going to show you another product. It's the No Flashback, Super Matte Fix Revolution powder. So people I have seen, and you're probably bored of me saying it, but I do want you to know, if you kind of invest in this, can I use it all over my face? Yes, you can. I've seen people and other influencers do that. I specifically use it just under my eyes, to set under my eyes. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, so I do have news, but I may do it another time because there's not many people on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just pop this, and you'll see what I mean, guys. It does fade, but look at the difference it makes to the eyes. I think we're going to go through this entire video with no comments. Oh my goodness, this is not what I expected. Okay, right, and the other side. And then what I do is, if there's anything remaining, guys, I will put it around my T-zone, only because for me, and that's what it looks like in the tube, that's where kind of the product and the oils start to develop. Now, the really surprising thing for me is, I was talking about it on a live the other day, is I don't actually wear makeup outside of kind of doing this in terms of if I go and see my friends, absolutely. But to work, guys, and I don't know if it's just me, I don't really wear, as I'm a support worker, so I don't go in wearing like a full face of makeup. I don't know why. And nobody that I know in support work does, but maybe other people do. Um, so yeah, it's just an interesting thing. Okay, so it's kind of said everything. What we're going to do now is go in with Drunk Elephant and it's their bronzing drops. This is so crazy, guys. I have never done a live with absolutely no one in it. So I have a feeling something's gone wrong, but I'm new to these lives. I say that. The other day I said I had 14, I did 14, and I looked back and it was 23. I was like, wow, how did I not know that? So I'm just shaking it, guys, because I do find that the water and oil mix. If I don't, I think 2 lives ago I did, I popped it on the back of my hand and you could actually see the water around the original kind of gold bronzy look. So I'm always shaking it, guys, just to make sure. Okay, today my NARS mascara, Climax mascara, has kind of literally finished up. So today we're doing Fenty Beauty from Rihanna. So that's what we're using for mascara. Always put it, I personally always put it on the back of my hand, and that's what it looks like. So this is the D-Bronze Anti-Pollution Sunshine Drops from Drunk Elephant. I've never tried their skincare, but I've been told it's absolutely amazing, but they are more of the high end. So dupes are always good too if you can dupe it. So this is it here, and all I'm doing is going around where the sun would naturally hit my face. Now I know a lot of people do it differently. They'll get their brush and they'll just go straight around, which is absolutely fine. I prefer to just tap it where, for 2 reasons, and I'll tell you why. I tap it where the sun will naturally, kind of gone too far with that one, hit your face. Then also, if I don't have enough, I can control the amount. If I dip that brush in straight away, it might look too much, and then I'm trying to kind of wasting time trying to go back. So if you try and go kind of with the lightest first, and then move on from there. So what we're going to do is use the Real Techniques contour brush, and then I go in with a bigger kind of buffing brush. I'm trying to not let this kind of get to me that there's nobody on. It's really strange. I've always done lives and there's always been somebody on, so this sounds really crazy. Okay, this is really strange. I'm really hoping even one person comes on, not for the sake of the live itself, but just so that I know I've actually done it right. Only because of the feedback I've been getting. Again, guys, when I say that, don't feel free to give me the feedback again. I need to know. But I actually put out a post a couple of weeks ago to say what time suits everyone, and I suggested times, one of these times being the suggested time, and I got feedback to say yes, that'll be a good time, both in messages and both in comments. So I have a feeling people aren't getting notified. Okay, so you're probably thinking that looks kind of uneven and not natural. That is why I go back in with a buffing brush. So I did take that out. So we're going to have a look at that. But for me, I'm finding the support work is really, and I touched on this today in my longer form content, really rewarding, but it's definitely taking its toll out on my energy for sure. Okay. The other thing I'm thinking of is that maybe people have just seen my channel and subscribed recently, and people go through a phase of watching someone, don't they? Me included. They go through a phase of watching someone and then just not watching them, and then they go back and watch them. And so I have a feeling some people have subscribed and then said, oh, that's great, but then I want to like watch somebody else, which is totally natural. But you can see now, guys, how it's kind of, once I've blended it into the skin, it does look a bit more natural. And then we are going to set that. And have I brought my setting? Don't tell me I've put it away. It's the way things are going. I did have the e.l.f. quad. Oh, I have it. Guys, these last 2 weeks, I don't know what's going on. So the e.l.f. quad, so you get your 2 highlights and your kind of matte and your cool tone browns. So with the kind of warmer tone brown, I'm going to kind of set what we've done with the Drunk Elephant. Okay, so I'm just going to, you put a little bit too much on there, so I'm just going to rub that into the skin. I do feel like I'm just talking to myself. This is a really weird experience. Okay. So this is the one we're going to be looking at today. They're not named or numbered, but you can kind of see where it goes. So you get that really kind of ghostly white, which I presume you would put under your eyes. This is more of a kind of nice matte. You could put that in the eyelid itself. And then we've got a cool toned and a warm toned bronze, whichever your skin suits. I always go for the warm toned. So what I'm going to do is go in with that contour brush again. And so I think, guys, just kind of looking back at my gosh, what's wrong with the brush even? Oh my gosh, guys. Is this like the universe saying lies are not your forte, Kira? I'm just saying, I think that Real Techniques brush is usually really good, but it almost dotted it on like snow. Oh my gosh, guys, I need to be on some sort of comedian's channel for tonight. Okay. So I'm going to go in with a separate brush because I washed this like 10 days ago, and I've had it for like, I would say 18 months, and it's never had an issue, but I'm having a feeling it's getting a bit stipply there, so we're not going to use that. And then I'm going to go in with a separate brush, just for the kind of contour on this side, or the bronze, should I say. Okay, guys, my goodness. Right. All right, we're just going to go up here. Okay, again, sticking from here. And then I'm going back in with the buffing brush just to kind of make it a bit more natural, bringing it right back to the hairline so it looks natural. This is just very surreal for me, guys. Okay. I'm going to use this remaining on the brush as well. We're going to tip that upwards, and we're just going to bring it up really gently, starting off very small so that if we need to increase it, we will. And that's better. We didn't have to go in and double dip on that, which then means that buffing it out won't take as long because it's not as strong as the first time we did it, but you still have the same effect. Okay. Okay. Okay, and then what's remaining, I just go under the... So that's kind of the bronzer done. I was going to kind of double up with putty blush and powdered blush, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with putty blush tonight, and that's going to be from e.l.f. This is what it looks like. It's in Tahiti. You can get plenty of other colors. Okay, this is what it looks like. Just looking in the mirror, bringing it right up the cheekbone as well. And then I actually use a sponge for this. I feel like I'm just in front of a mirror and there's nobody here and I'm just talking to myself. This is so strange. Okay. So what I'm using is my Shein. As you can see, I find with the putty blush with a sponge, it kind of blends in a bit better, and then you can kind of control the amount that's on. I might go a little bit more with that. And then we're going to start with the eyeshadow. Now, that just gives it a little bit more of a colour in my cheeks, basically, because the first time I feel like I didn't put enough on. And then what we're going to do is just go back in with that sponge. And right, we're going to do the brows now. And again, if you had seen my longer form content today, or you're just catching up, I did improvise with the e.l.f. Cooler toned brown in the e.l.f. quad, just because I haven't had time to go and get a new brow product, and I do want to kind of take my time. I know you're probably thinking go online and get one, but I always have gotten e.l.f. and I want to kind of move away from that. I want to go into Superdrug and kind of have a look around. So I'm improvising with this at the minute, which actually seems to be working really well. I have a feeling I've done something that is preventing them coming on. Oh goodness, okay. And I'm just bringing this up a little bit higher. Okay. Okay. Okay, so you can see it's kind of a good color match as well to my hair. But this has only been my second time having to improvise because my She Glam liquid ran out, and before that my e.l.f. brow pencil ran out, and I just haven't had time with work and stuff to go back in. But I do want to go into Superdrug. I don't want to just jump online again. So yeah, that's what we're doing. But as I said before, I think you get people that come on and subscribe and they jump onto the channel and they kind of like the channel for a while and they don't unsubscribe, but then they kind of just do their own stuff and stuff like that. So I'm not really sure what's happening, but we're going to go ahead with it anyway. So what I'm going to do before we go into that eyeshadow palette, I always kind of set my makeup twice. So that's what we're going to do. This is the e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray, and it's a mist. So if you're getting it wondering why am I feeling it as heavy as a spray, it is a mist. So don't feel like it's not enough is coming on. So we're just going to spray that around. Okay, that'll set. And then we are going to have a look at that eyeshadow palette, which is amazing. Not new in any way, but very similar to kind of the colors that the higher end are coming out with. So if you're trying to save money or you're investing in something else, if you've got Profusion palettes, W7 palettes, the color stories are super similar. So once you have a really, really good primer, if you don't use eye primer, just go in with your concealer and you'll find that you get the same result. So this is it. This is the Profusion pigment base. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. Keep trying to see if I can see if anyone's on. I very much doubt it. This is really strange. I've never had a live where absolutely nobody's been on, so I really do feel like I'm talking to myself, which is really strange because technically I am. Okay. Right, so that's it, guys. You don't need a lot. Some people put on it with a brush. I like to put it on with the warmth of my fingers. Okay. Here we go. Now I'm dotting it around with one and then I'm warming it up on the eye with the other. Now, if you're thinking, does it come in another color? Yes, it comes in concealer and skin tone. I like the white because you really see where you're putting things. It does calm down. As you can see, when we put it on first, it was super, super white, obviously, because that's the color, but actually it warms into the skin really, really quickly. So we're just going to use the other side. And then a separate hat finger just to warm that up, guys. What you can do is go in with a brush if you want to. I've seen people do that. This is so, honestly, I know I keep saying it, but this is super strange. Okay. Maybe this will end up on a what not to do on a live, and I'll go viral for that. Okay, so this is kind of, you can see how quick it kind of goes into the skin tone because when I first put it on, it looked really ghostly. But as you can see, I used it in my longer form content video today as well. And honestly, guys, this works with setting spray. If you're thinking, how long does it work? I got about 9 hours out of this the last time I wore it outside. I will keep reiterating, if you're going out, definitely put on your SPF. I know that the e.l.f. has an SPF that we've used, or sorry, the NYX, but I would always suggest going out with a minimum 30 SPF. On the live the other day, we were talking and somebody found an SPF 100. And I mean, depending on where you live, that's really good. I've never seen that in the UK or Ireland. The max I've ever found is SPF 50. But definitely, guys, I think even in the other thing that we were talking about on the live the other night is, do we use SPF in the winter? Absolutely. Somebody asked me that question. For sure, guys, because the UVA rays still come through. If it's a cloudy day, the sun still comes through, and there are other pollution factors to take into account too. So it's not just the sun that you're protecting your skin from. So I would always say wear SPF minimum 30. So that's just what I would do as advice. So I hadn't actually planned on a color story today. I was going to go with you guys and go with the flow when I was showing you and have the feedback. But yes, this is kind of what we're doing. We're working with, I presume, not anybody on. I either think I've done something wrong. This is the third time I've gone on tonight. So if anyone's looking back at this, I'm really not sure. Is this a sign that lives aren't working? I mean, the other lives have been fine, but really strange, really, really strange. Okay, I'm going to take some water. I feel like I'm talking to myself. I think I've just made my throat sore from talking so much. You're probably thinking she's already put her setting spray on. Why is she not left it till the end? So what I do is, when I did makeup artistry, when I I would go with a makeup artist and I would kind of shadow them. What they would do, particularly if it was bridal or special events or even theatre makeup, they would, once the concealer, bronzer, blush, everything was on before the eyes were set, what they would do is set it once and then they go in after the eyeshadow was done and set it twice. And it just gave that kind of, it really made the, particularly with theatre lights or if you're getting married, like the photo flashback, things like that, it really just set everything. So that's what we're going to do. So let's have a look with the crease color. So again, if you're wondering what this is, it's the Revolution Pro New Neutrals Passion Palette. So that's what we're going to do with that. You get a mirror with it, but I won't blind you guys. This is the colors that you're working with. A couple of, I think you could get 3 or 4 color stories out of this. And we're going to go in with, just having a quick look, Masked. And this is what Masked looks like, and I'll swatch it for you. This is giving me kind of not to go on Monday at 8 vibes. This is what it looks like. It's coming off kind of a more cooler toned, but it is quite warm toned. So what we're going to do is, I have slightly hooded eyes, so I'm going to go a little bit higher than I would usually do, and kind of start in the crease with that. But yes, you get people come and go, I guess, when they go onto your channel. So I just hope, what I would like is people to see my interests that are also outside of makeup, which I am going to be incorporating more into the channel. But what I wanted to do before that started was kind of gain subscribers through talking with you guys, basically. I love putting up shorts of the finished product. I love I do like longer form content because that's where I started. But I think the interaction is kind of what I love. So we're just gonna go above there, and you can see this is masked, but I told you guys, didn't I? It is a warmer toned brown. So this is the New Neutrals Revolution Pro Passions Palette. Now what I wanted to show you guys is, and I'm going to keep reiterating this, there is a lot of high-end mascara, or sorry, eyeshadows coming out right now, but there are, Revolution are really good and W7 are really good at duping. So if you're saying, Kira, I want to spend more on my skincare, I want to spend more on something else for the household, I want to do something else, but I don't want to miss out on the colors, Revolution do amazing palettes, guys, and so do W7. So that would be something. NYX is another one too. They do great eyeshadow palettes. So ELF do great quads. So what I'm trying to say is, if you are kind of looking at doing something else or spending your money elsewhere, particularly if it's skincare, anything like that, which is super important because skincare is kind of the first base that people have. So I would kind of highly recommend, if you're saying, is there something you'd recommend in terms of eyeshadow palettes, definitely go and get the high end if you want to, for sure. But if you're like me, kind of trying to invest in other things, and you want to kind of still have the same look, really good eye primer to start because that's going to keep the makeup on. That's why I wanted to show you Profusion. And then obviously your skincare, everything like that, really invest in that, guys. That's something that I would always say, don't kind of slack on skincare because that's going to reflect in how your skin reacts to it. So that was just a bit of a an advice from me. If you are looking to kind of invest in other products but you still want the same look, Revolution in particular do great palettes. Okay, we're just going to go a little bit higher because I do have slightly hooded eyes. Okay. Okay, we're just going to put that there. So you can see it's quite a nice warm brown. This does feel really strange, guys. I can't, like, nobody on it. It's so strange. Okay, so we're then going to go in with Sham, and it's more of a glitter tone. I'm just going to show you that this is what Sham looks like. Again, having that mirror is great for travel too. This is Sham, super kind of bright, but that's what we're going for tonight. And again, any glitter or shimmer I always apply with my fingers. The warmth of your finger really helps. So the lid color, the crease color is masked in case you have this palette. The color I'm going in with the lid now is a shimmer and it's called Sham. just gonna... Oh, guys, is this a sign that lives aren't working? I don't know. It's never, ever had a live where there's not been nobody on, but maybe afterwards people will see. It is saying that welcome to live chat. So, yes, my goodness. Okay. So that's what that looks like, guys. You can see if I look down and come closer, there is a shimmer. If I come back slightly, it looks like more of a matte white, but you can see, guys, there's certainly shimmer there. So I'm just going to bring that up a little bit. I don't think we'll be on too much longer. Okay. I don't think I'll give the news tonight anyway. I don't think there's many people on. So. Okay. I'm just looking for the outer corner now, what we're going to do. So for the outer corner, because we used mask, I'm going to go into either reverse or secret. Or should we do intimate? Okay, we might, because I'm not going to bring that color right up. So what I'm seeing now, guys, is as I look forward, the sham is showing more on this side than it is this, and that's because I think my eyes are slightly hooded more on that side. So I am going to go back in and just bring that up higher, work on that and bring it up a little bit higher. If I need to do a brush, I will. That is something I mentioned in my last live, that I'm noticing one eye, and that could be due to my illness, going more hooded than the other. Okay, that looks a bit better. Before it just looked like it was... Okay, that looks a little bit better. So I think I'm going to go in with reversed, but I'm going to go super light. I'm actually going to use a placement brush. That's what reversed looks like, because it is a bit deeper. Okay. This is the Menage brushes from Shein. They're double-ended. I'm going to be using, I use them as placement brushes. I'm going to go into reverse, and I am literally just going to place it and then blend with the e.l.f. fluffy blending brush. And that's what that looks like. Let's reverse. We're going to do the same on the other side. I can't see anyone who's on because it covers, but I am presuming there isn't anyone on. This is just weird. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, like, talking to myself. Very strange. Yeah, we're not going to be on too much longer, I'm afraid. So that's what that looks like. Now what I'm going to do is then reapply masked, because you could obviously bring that right up and get that darkness going. But what I want to do is, I don't want to do that. I want to kind of have masked showing a little bit more. So we're going to go into that brown, and I am then going to warm it up a bit more, just so that both colors get a chance to kind of shine. And then we will blend this slightly in. I haven't set anything to listed or link only, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. Okay, so what we're going to do now is have a clean fluffy brush, and I am going to warm up, kind of take the harsh lines away from that deep brown that we used, which was reverse. And I am just going to slowly take that harsh line away, reapply the shimmer, and then we will, you can see it looks a little bit more natural now. Reapply that shimmer, and then we're going to do our mascara. Again, pictures will be up. Okay. Very strange. This is still just really strange for me, guys. Sorry. So we're going to go back in with sham. I guess the other thing is, you do get people who come and go with interest, you know, in your channel. So that's just something that happens over time, I guess. Okay, so that's kind of the look, guys. We're going to go in with the Fenty Beauty mascara. And first of all, what I always do is just curl my lashes. Where have I put my eyelash curler? Somewhere here. Okay, we're going to go in then with the lips. The lips will be Revolution Pout Lip Oil, which is really good. Okay. I was actually going to try this duo from Revolution, which we might try actually. We might do this instead. So I've been trying to use these guys. They smell of cinnamon. I decluttered the other one, but I like this color and I just don't want to get rid of it. It's the Revolution. It's in Queen. You get the liner and you get the liquid together. They kind of dupe the Kylie Jenner lip kits, but they're really, really good. So we're going to be popping that on after the mascara. I just need to find my lash curler and I use a small mirror. And if you've been a long-term subscriber of me, even if you're looking back on this, I always look down with a smaller mirror and it gives me more control. I can't believe we've just been on this long and I've been talking to myself. This is just really strange, guys. It's never happened before. Maybe lives aren't meant to be. I'll still keep going. 2 p.m. Wednesday UK time will be the next one. I guess this is just the way lives go sometimes. I think for me, it's just never been absolutely nobody. I can't see how many people are on, but I'm guessing there isn't anyone on. Okay, so I'm just popping back the brushes, and we're going to use the Studio London, and that's the eyelash curler. I do take the mirror, and I just look down. I've got more control that way. And we're just going to take the lash and curl it. I always find curling does half the work of the mascara. So I always curl lashes first. I'd always advise that. Get yourself a good quality eyelash curler. Okay. Going to go in with the Fenty Beauty now, and it's the mascara in Hella Thick, I think, and it's in black, but it comes in brown as well. Okay. This is definitely not a confidence booster, guys. I'll just say that. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. Right, so we're gonna just go in with that. I've rubbed off some of the excess there because it does have a tendency with this to kind of grab onto products. That's the only thing I would say. And so I'm just gonna grab it one more time. And we're just going to just kind of any of the excess, I'll just show you off. It's the only thing I would say. It's a really good waterproof mascara, but it does tend to pick up a huge amount of product when it comes out. Okay, so we're just going to get that mirror, and because the lash has been curled, we're just going to look down and do the mascara. There will be pictures obviously in the post after this. Sorry if you can hear the neighbors, guys, their music is on quite loud. So if I just show you, when you look down, guys, you can see what I mean. You get more control. So when you look up, you're not trying to kind of look in a long mirror and see further away mirror and see what you're doing. It's really good. Any eyeshadow compact too. It doesn't have to be a mirror on its own. Any mirror you get, even with a eyeshadow palette, you can use that. It doesn't specifically have to be a separate mirror. And you can see, guys, I have actually got an aversion to false lashes, so I can't. If you did have, if you can wear them, wear them. But that's why I'm always on the lookout for a really good quality waterproof mascara, just because I personally can't wear false lashes. But this one, guys, I love Fenty Beauty mascara, Hella Thick. It's really good. Okay. Now you can go in with many coats as you want. I'm going to kind of focus on the inner corners now, and I think that would be enough for me there. But you can see it just lifts the eye. So there we go. Okay. Let me know if you're on replay, guys. At least that would make it worth it. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. I think because I'm such a chatty person too, that when I come on, I look forward to the makeup, but I also look forward to chatting. So it's just who I am. Not that when people say when we get to know you first, you're quite shy, but then when people get to know me, depending on, the way you just kind of get good vibes from people, I do tend to then be chatty, and I love meeting up and just kind of connecting, because not everything in life is like super positive. So it's nice to have maybe somebody who links in or has been through a similar experience, or just even hearing about their life is really good. So that's kind of what drew me into lives. So yes, I'm hoping I haven't done anything, but I very much doubt if comments are allowed that you guys can't see this. So I'm really, and it has top fans in the corner too. So let's just, I don't know, in the last 2 weeks, and please do comment even if something is saying error message on your side. It just seems something has gone wrong. So I joked with my friend the other day saying, is this a sign I shouldn't do lives? And she was just laughing. But yeah, laughing and sympathizing. Okay. Okay, so like I like that, guys. Again, absolutely. If you're saying this needs more, obviously, if I could wear false lashes, I would. I just can't. I get like watery eyes. My eyes actually, I got conjunctivitis, and there was nothing wrong with the lashes. It wasn't the quality of the lashes. I just can't wear them. Uh, so we're gonna just curl the other lash now. Okay, I'm gonna take a drink quickly. If you're wondering why I went for these colors, my plan was to kind of ask you guys what you thought of instead of me just deciding. But yeah, unless we were in Ghost Hunters and I couldn't see who's on, that's not going to work, is it? So I'm trying to, I try to keep things kind of positive. I'm a positive person. But yes, sometimes it's just the way it goes. Okay, taking one more drink and then we're going to curl the other lash. I didn't forget to tell you guys what we're going in with. I was going to go in with this, but I really wanted you guys to see this. I can never wear it for too long because everybody has a scent they don't like, and I have decluttered one of them. But this is the Revolution's version of Kylie Jenner's lip kits, and they just have cinnamon scent, and it's one of my scents. I just can't. I don't mind the vitamin C, the orange scent, anything else, almond oil, anything like that, but it's just such a beautiful color. This one I just couldn't get rid of, so I love it. So yeah, what we'll do is curl the other lash and start that Hella Thick mascara from Fenty Beauty. Okay, where's my lash curler and all my chatting to my, I've put it somewhere. There we go. Okay, let's just curl this lash. Okay, so I'm on a overnight tomorrow, and next live will be Wednesday at 2 p.m. UK time. That time actually was really, really good. Got a lot of people in there, which was nice. Um, I'll double check if it was 2 or 12. No, it was 12 Monday, last Monday. I remember because I specifically got called into work and we did have people on then. So we'll keep going with it, guys. I'll try 8 p.m. again next week. I'm not going to kind of just give up, but if that, because I'm free Monday anyway, I did 8 p.m. maybe for other people's convenience because people are in work or in school. So that was my reasoning for the 8 p.m. But if it does need to be earlier, I can always do it because I have Mondays off work, which is good. Okay, let's go in with that mascara again. Hella Thick from Fenty Beauty. Okay, I might have to go in again. I was gonna not have to dip in again, like double dip, but I think I might have to. Okay, I'm gonna just double go back in again with that. And literally what I mean is that I went in first, didn't go back in again. So we'll go back in again. It's just that it does pick up a huge amount of product. So that's why I don't tend to try and go in too much with it. So we're just gonna see what I mean. You just have to kind of really be careful. Now the bristles, everything else is fine. I think just the consistency is so thick that you just have to be really careful, guys. But it is waterproof. It lasts all day. Dries really quick as well, which is good if you're in a rush or you only have 10 minutes to get ready in the morning, anything like that, or it's very good. It is waterproof. So we're just gonna go back in with our little mini mirror here. Then we'll do the lipstick and lip liner, and I think I'll be on my way. Oh my goodness, guys, what a live. Okay. Okay. That's what that looks like. Okay. Just focusing now, like I did before, on the inner corners. And then we'll go ahead with that lip liner and lip liquid from Revolution, which is a dupe, I feel, for the Kylie Jenner lip kits. So we're just gonna close the mascara. Okay. And then go ahead with the lip liner and lipstick. Liquid, I guess, liquid. So we're going to start off with the lip definer, they call them, the filter lip definer. And this is in Queen. So we're just gonna open that up, and it's kind of like a crayon effect. And we're just going to start to line the outline of the lips. I go in completely, so you can see it's a nice kind of nudie pink color, which I think will really complement the eyeshadow. Okay, and then we're going to go in with the liquid. And it's a twist cap too, so you don't waste any product. And then we're going to go in with the lip liquid, and then I will take I'll take photos in natural lighting as well. And that's what that looks like, guys. I think it actually makes, even though it doesn't have any properties to make it look bigger, I think it does make the lips look bigger. And that's kind of the last thing I'll do, is just bring that white sham, the color sham, a bit up further, because I do feel like it just looks a little bit more pronounced on this side. So I'm going to open up that palette again. And we're just going to go in with sham, which is this color right here. It wasn't an intended thing to do, but I do feel like it's showing a little bit more on this side, so we might go and get a brush and just bring it up a bit more. Just a little bit more. Okay, so this is the look, guys. Let me know if you look at it on replay. I think that's probably going to be the end of the video, the live today. I'll see you next time.